Welcome to MI Magazine Presents Soul, a weekly entertainment show on fashion, arts and culture, mental health, relationships, travel, and food. Our weekly co-hosts are Carla Hill, Dr. Delvina Thomas, and Chef Irie. Now introducing our host, Miss Nicky Gelin.
Hello, everybody, and happy Hump Wednesday. Welcome to MIA Magazine Presents. So I'm your host. I'm Nikki Says YOLO, and thank you so much for being our virtual guest tonight. Now, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors. Soul is brought to you by the AARP, and also it is November, which means it is time for the Art of Black Miami. So submissions are currently being accepted, and the MIA magazine is a beautiful artistic representation and guide of galleries that represent Black artists of Miami visitors and locals. This issue will be published on November 26th of this year, and all images are to be received by Wednesday, November 15th of this year as well. So the awardee will be winning $5,000, a cash award prize, and also the sponsor awardee will be winning $1,500. So for more info on the submission and dates, visit MIA Media GRP/nominations/Art of Black Miami competition form. Again, for more info, it's at the bottom right here scrolling. Visit miamediagrp.com/nominations. Now, tonight is a really special show because it's focused on Black gamers in the gaming industry. So I'm a gamer myself. I did play when I was younger, back in my teens and all that stuff. And my go-to games for me back then and up until now, it's Mario Kart, Mortal Kombat, and Street Fighter. So for me, Street Fighter, it's definitely one of my legacy games because of Chun-Li. So if you have any special like characters that you like as far as playing video games, or if you're a gamer yourself, go ahead and drop your favorite game in the comments. Again, the show is dedicated to two gamers who are going to be honored and recognized for their contribution within the gaming industry. Also, again, it is the book fair. So I'll be speaking to author Quan. He wrote The Reluctant King, and he will be featured during the Miami Book Fair as well. So also, I'm going to move the show over to our featured guest. So our first featured co-host is what I want to say. She was one of our past co-hosts. You may remember her. She was part of our fashion segment. So Christy Grace Chambers, thank you so much for being a part of this show tonight. It's such an honor to have you back on the show tonight.
And thank you. Hey, Nikki G girl. It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you as well. It's been such a while. Oh my gosh. And it's so great to see you. We've missed you so much. So welcome back.
Thank you so much. And Nikki G, you never cease to amaze me. You have so many interests, in gaming being one of them. I can't wait to hear the guests tonight. But let me tell you what's going on. So I'm still doing my commercial real estate. But let me tell you, I have a shoe now. It's not me who designed the shoe, but there's a brand that I've talked to you all about before called My Kiatu, which means shoe in Swahili. So My Kiatu, Kiatu, mykiatu.com. The woman there, Teresa, the owner, she named a shoe after me, and it's spelled the way I spell my name. And I'm super excited. It's the back of it for me, this little strap. It's very beautiful. So please check it out. But I also want to tell you that this weekend I'm partnering with Julian Chain, which is a local boutique here in Miami in the Little River District. And I have some slides I want to show you before I show you some of the pieces here that I have. So Julian Chain has really unique pieces. Typically, it's only 1 to maybe 3 of the same thing in the store. So this jacket came from there. Both jackets came in. Those are 2 of my clients. And on the next slide, I want to show you this beautiful black and white dress. Very unique. Then this jumpsuit, which is great for like brunch or day to day. this beautiful print shirt that I put on one of my clients that I love so much that I kept it for myself. And then on the last slide, just current kind of pictures of his current location in that boutique. So jumpsuits, I'm holding up that red jumpsuit. He's very famous for jumpsuits. So let me just talk about what I'm wearing and what I'm going to show you. So again, Julian Chain is known for kind of resort wear. So this dress off the shoulder, so you could wear this like on an airplane to your vacation, right? Just pair it with the pair of sneakers. Then you could wear it out by the pool if you put your swimsuit underneath it. Then you can actually put it on with a pair of heels and go out that night, right? So it's a lot you can do with it. So I'm just going to show you a few pieces. I showed you the shirt. Here's another colorful shirt. Very nice colors. On my Instagram, I posted this dress that I love. Also, I posted this jumpsuit. So lots of colors. Then, can't go wrong with like this Komodo kind of long dress. I know they have this in green. Imagine wearing this belted. My favorites are these pants here. Like, I'm in love with these. I wear these everywhere. And another little throw. These are just some things that he has, the style. So I will be there styling people this Saturday from 12 to 3, and the address is scrolling. So I hope to see everyone there. So much fun to be with you all tonight, Nikki, and thank you.
No, it's great to have you back. And Christy, a really quick question. So I saw there was a jacket. It was really colorful, and there were like I guess like things sticking out of it. I don't know what to call it. Like, what kind of fabric is that for? Yeah, on the first slide. Yeah, like what that's kind of cute. What is that?
I don't know. You described it beautifully. Colorful sticking out. I mean, it's a bad A jacket. I mean, it's definitely a statement. I took it to her because I thought it was going to be perfect for photos, but she ended up keeping it. So like, I haven't seen it at the boutique anymore because again, these styles that he does it's like 2 of them. Maybe he'll use the same print, but there might be 2 of these dresses, like one in a small, one in a large. He might use this print for a jumpsuit or something like that. But that's why I like it, because you're not walking around. If you show up at lunch or some event, guaranteed, most likely you're going to be the only one wearing it.
Awesome. Well, Christy, thank you so much. We hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Have a good night. And now on to my next co-host. She's our board certified psychiatrist and also the founder of the Brain Love podcast. So Dr. Delvina, how are you?
Hey, Nikki. Happy hump day. Are you ready to take the couch?
I'm ready.
So first things first, I was a little bit of a gamer back in the day, just a little tad, just a tad. But my back in the day was way back in the day. I'm talking.
Are you saying like Tetris?
Like no, I wasn't into Tetris, but Nintendo, the original Nintendo, and actually the original Atari also. Like I remember my dad bringing the Atari home and my brothers and I trying to master Donkey Kong, Frogger, Contra, those are all the good stuff. And then we got a Nintendo and I became addicted to Zelda. Have you heard of Zelda?
Yes. Zelda is still popping. They're still playing Zelda till this very day. Yes.
Yeah. So Zelda, also Link was one of my favorite games. So, I got through Zelda and all of Link, and I used to enjoy Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Oh, okay, Dr. Delvina.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, that was way back in the day before life got serious for me when I was a little hopper.
Before adulting started, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. 5th and 6th grade. So check it out. Tomorrow is Veterans Day. You guys know I'm a veteran. So I absolutely have to talk about veterans in America. It is one of these things where we have so many different holidays. You know, we have Memorial Day. Memorial Day is actually a celebration, or an observance, I should say, for the service members who died in service. That is Memorial Day. Sometimes people confuse it. But Veterans Day is more so a way to honor all of our veterans. They don't have to be deceased. They don't have to have, got injured at war or anything like that. Veterans Day used to be called Armistice Day, and it was a legal holiday to honor the end of World War I. So it began back in the early 20th century, like back in 1918. And so we continue to have Veterans Day each and every year. It's observed on November 11th. And so I just want to send a shout out to all of our veterans out there. It has been a difficult last, I'll say, 30 years. I've been in the Army now for almost 20 years. This past July, I made 18 years with the Army Reserve. And, there are a lot of folks who, prior to even my joining the service, there was Desert Storm and all these other conflicts that occurred before Iraq. And so my first conflict was Operation Enduring Freedom. That was basically Baghdad, Iraq. And then a couple of years later, I went to Afghanistan. So for all our veterans out there who are no longer serving, or all the veterans who are still serving, big ups to you, much respect to you. I believe one of your guests that's on tonight is also a veteran, Eli Harris. And we had another veteran on about a month ago, the gentleman who makes the gin up north.
Reginald.
Yeah.
Genius gin. Yeah.
So we're out here. We're amongst you guys. If you know a veteran, be sure to give that person a shout out. If they're a family member, give them a hug. I know, people are split in how they consider a person who served in the military. Some people say, oh, you didn't have to do it. It was voluntary. All this crap, but someone has to protect the country. Seriously, the United States military is needed to protect our borders.
Yeah.
And so it's not just a day off. I'm sorry, Nikki, I thought you were about to say something.
It's okay.
So it's not just a day off. In fact, my staff and I will be here working tomorrow. I tell them the same thing about Veterans Day that I tell them on Labor Day. Labor Day is a day to labor. You need to work on Labor Day. You're not off on Labor Day. And Veterans Day, unless you're a veteran, you're not off on Veterans Day. So happy Veterans Day to everyone out there. Please, big ups to all the veterans. Be supportive. A lot of folks have gone to combat multiple times throughout their careers. And a lot of times in the very beginning of these conflicts, veterans were downrange for a year, 15 months, 18 months before they finally realized we're doing damage to the mental health of these soldiers and sailors and airmen. You can't leave people in these types of austere environments for several months at a time. So PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, is real. Just know that. And that's all I got for you, Nikki.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Delvina, for all you do and all you've done for the United States and for, just for the people all together.
Oh, girl, you know nothing.
What, girl? No, that's a big something. And I just want to ask you, what percentage of veterans, I guess, do you consult with, or do you help with their particular situation?
Yeah, we have a significant amount of veterans in the office. I'm a TRICARE provider. So some veterans who are now retired, they still maintain their health benefits. They have TRICARE. And then I'm also a member of the best VFW post in the country, VFW post 8195 on Pembroke Road. I'm a lifetime member of the VFW. And so I get a lot of those folks too, because sometimes, veterans need help with their service-connected disability. Because veterans, if you don't know and you're listening and you have a family member who's a veteran, encourage them to go to the VA, encourage them to apply to start seeing a doctor there. And maybe they're eligible for some sort of service-connected disability. And that service-connected disability can bring them a paycheck each month for the pains and the woes and the mental health issues that they may have encountered or developed from their years in service. And if you're 100% disabled, you don't have to pay real estate taxes here in the state of Florida. And it's the same in some other states as well. So know your benefits. That's very important as a veteran. Know what your benefits are. Get registered at the VA. Thank you for that question, Nikki. That was a good question.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. All right. Well, Dr. Delvina, thank you so much. And thank you for serving our country. We'll see you next week.
Brain love.
Brain love. And now on to my next co-host. She's our arts and culture connoisseur, the beautiful Miss Carla Hill. Happy Hump Wednesday. How you doing tonight?
Good, beautiful Nikki. How are you? I'm doing very well. And I want to give a special shout out to my mother. She came here in the 70s, this young woman from Trinidad and Tobago, and served in the United States Army. So I have very good memories of Fort Hood, Texas. It provided a lot for my brother and I. So shout out to Mom Hazel for that. But I have a great free cultural event that I want to share with everyone. Once again, we seem to be having better COVID numbers in South Florida, cross our fingers, and even Miami-Dade and Broward County school systems are changing their policies on masks, as we've seen in the news. While we should try to get out there and have some semblance of normalcy, it's important that we do all of this in a safe way. So thank goodness we live in South Florida, where the weather is beginning to be peak Miami perfection. And I want to tell you about a great free cultural event taking place at the History Miami Museum this Saturday, November 13th. The 5th annual Culture Fest 305, I love that name, celebrates life in the Magic City, and it takes in the unique sights, sounds, and flavors that make Miami. So join our community for a jam-packed day of music, dance, food, and art, and discover all that makes Miami the diverse, vibrant, extraordinary city that we love. Now, this festival brings together the city's finest traditional artists for a day of performances. So, Nikki, I'm going to play a song, and I want to see if you recognize it, okay?
Okay.
Well, let's hope this works.
Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot. Oh, you put me on the spot. Okay, yes. I know that's the hook. Okay.
I'm playing that song because the drummer, that is, first of all, it's world famous, internationally known reggae group Third World, right? And the drummer is Willie Stewart. He is in the pocket of every song that Third World plays. But what Willie has decided to do is dedicate his time after being with Third World to using percussion as a means of unity. So don't miss him at Culture Fest 305. His demonstrations and the way he gets people to participate is amazing. He's a very generous soul. There's a full day of performances, as you can see from the schedule, that you can safely participate in. Willie Stewart is just one of the great cultural performances and demonstrations you can experience for free with your family. I'm also looking forward to the Haitian drumming and storytelling demonstration by Louiné Louimi Haitian Dance Theater. That will be lots of fun. And as a classical Indian dance fan, I highly recommend catching the Indian Dance Workshop by South Florida's own Rhythms School of Dance. There are so many things that are available to share with your family. And again, for free, it's great to see South Florida beginning to buzz again with some great cultural events. And before we start to think about and maybe stress a little bit about the holidays, take the family out for a free cultural event on November 13th, that's this Saturday, Culture Fest 305, and experience the arts and cultures that make South Florida the place where everyone wants to be. Everyone is moving here. I'm Carla Hill, and this is your MIA Arts and Culture Report.
All right, Ms. Carla Hill, thank you so much. We'll see you next week. And now on to my next co-host. He's a private and personal chef. He's also the host of Taste the Island on American Public Television. So, Chef Irie, happy Hump Wednesday. How you doing?
Happy Hump Wednesday, Nikki. What's going on? Well, yeah. Again, when I did that, the light just blocked my face out.
No,
But we can remedy that just nice and easy. Hey, babe. Cheers. Salute. Yes. I went non-alcoholic today because I had to go check out the docs later. But anyway, what are we talking about today? Well, it's South Florida. And there are always lots of things to do in South Florida and within the state of Florida. And, food stuff, that is. And so right off the bat, though, if I haven't been to Epcot or Orlando in a very, 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 very long time. So their International Food and Wine Festival actually ends on the 20th. So if anybody is up there planning a trip this weekend or next weekend, check it out. The International Food and Wine Festival at Epcot. Check it out. Great. Yes. North Miami, there is a Greek fest going on. And I don't know, one of the things that's really cool about local is that a lot of some of these events, they're so like underneath the leaves, man. You got to search, or if you don't know anything about them. Greek festival, and they sometimes happen in churches. So there's a Greek festival in North Miami, the Greek Orthodox Church, this Friday to Sunday. Yes, Friday to Sunday, yes, in North Miami. So check it out if you're a lover of Greek food. Trust me, it should be delicioso. Yeah. All right. Coming up on Las Solas, we got Las Solas Wine and Food on November 19th. And that's only for one evening. November 19th from 7:30 to 10:30. So if you are, privy to be down that area, I want to go hang out, get your tickets, go walk up and down the street, drink some wine, eat some food from the restaurants or whoever is there. Check it out. Always something to do in South Florida. If you're up in Jacksonville, where I used to live for a minute before I went over to Gatortown in Gainesville, there is Uncorked, their wine fest, which will be on what is this? November 13th. And it's downtown Jacksonville at a place called Mosh, Mosh. Yes, and that's 7 to 11 in Jacksonville. So if you love your wine and you're in Jacksonville and you're traveling and you want something to do while you're in Jacksonville, stop on over at Mosh on November 13th. All right, a couple of other things now for me. Hold on. Before we get to me. So this would definitely appeal to you, Nikki, if you're taking a side, a little Sunday trip, and you want to go out to Naples. So there is a vegetarian festival in Naples, and for all you vegetarian lovers, and vegan people, yes, and I know I said vegan people, but people that love vegetarian and vegan food, Naples, and that's at the Sugden Regional Park, and it's this Sunday. So you can check it out if you're in Naples this weekend. And before you come back, check out the vegan festival, the vegetarian festival. All right, a couple of other things. Jerk Fest. Jerk Fest is going on this weekend, November 14th at Vizcaya Park in West Miramar. So get your tickets 4 to 10. Yes, DJ vibes and jerk vibes and cabana vibes, and just come out and do your Jerk Fest vibes. Yes, November 14th. From 4 to 10, Vizcaya Park in West Miramar. And I gotta start plugging this. My food distribution for Chef Irie's Food and Fire Foundation. So if you are knowing someone or a family, single mom in need, send me a name so I can put them on a list. Yes, you can't just show up at Lale, at the distribution point, but you know somebody that's in need. Send me the name and I will add them to the list and have them come and pick up their Thanksgiving box. You know what I'm saying? All right. So before we go, 2 things. This month is actually National Vegan Month. And in another week or so, we are going to be celebrating for the week National Hunger and Homelessness Week. So I'm appealing to people out there to feed somebody, bless somebody that's in need. You know, the holiday times are coming up, the season is coming up, and so it's no happenstance that during Thanksgiving, November is actually gratitude month. So before I even get to Thanksgiving, I'm expressing gratitude right now. I'm expressing gratitude to my man Dex MIA to be on the show with you lovely, beautiful women and guests. Yes, you know, and of course tomorrow, yes, flavor of South Florida. We gonna do it big, baby. Big lip, yeah, here we come. Woo! Vegan. Crazy vegan. So that's what we got this week for you, Nicky. So if you're out of South Florida or in Florida, period, remember there's always lots to do. And if you don't know somebody that knows somebody, Google it.
Yeah, you know, I want to try that jerk ice cream though. Now that's on my list.
The jerk ice cream should be,
ice cream, yes.
Good. Yes, you know, it doesn't hit you boom, but it, you know, you eating ooh, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying?
Get the water ready, right?
Yes, exactly. Just the way you want it to do. You have different layers of effects when you're eating that type of ice cream. Sweet, nutty, flavorful, then spicy, and yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's about thinking about
I'm looking forward to that, Chef. So thank you so much. And
most def.
And okay, and now on to our first featured guest. So his book is being featured at the Miami Book Fair. He's the author of The Reluctant King. So Quan, thank you so much for being our featured guest tonight. How's it going?
I'm good. How you doing? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing really good. Thank you. And congratulations on your feature at the Miami Book Fair. So
thank you.
So what inspired The Reluctant King?
What inspired The Reluctant King was me kind of wanting to touch on something out of the box. I wanted to stay true to my roots, which is crime. I write crime novels. But I also wanted to introduce a family dynamic into it. So that way it kind of appealed to two sides of a coin. And just, you know, because I have been working, I have been doing series, like a lot of different series for so long. So this was my first time coming up for air and being able to step away from the animal series. And so I wanted to do something different. I wanted to have it focused on family, but be entertaining at the same time. So if that makes sense.
Right. So the plot is focused. Okay. So give us like a little, I guess, snippet on
the plot. Is, what I did was, we talked a little bit about it earlier. I created a monarchy. Like, you know, you read a lot of crime books and they have like a mafia structure, a crime family structure. But instead, I took something that was neither good nor evil. I took a monarchy. This family that ruled a certain section of New York as like kings, queens, and so on and so forth, and how it goes. Just to kind of introduce, because I've always been like a history fan. So I wanted to kind of introduce that into a different demographic of book. So people like, you know, people that may not be familiar with that kind of stuff because they're not into history, it'll make them curious and kind of have them gyrate and go to read other stuff to kind of become curious about monarchies and knights and how the castles were set up and kings and tribes and things like that. And just get them like a springboard, so to speak, from one genre to another.
So what year does it take place?
Currently. It takes place currently.
Oh, it's currently. Because you said like the knights and, you know, so I'm like, okay, is it like
and that's the cool thing about it because it's set currently, but they're using the structure of monarchies to run their distributions and whatever little criminal enterprises they have. They've formed a monarchy. I'm not sure if you're familiar with New York. There's a section of New York called 5 Points. And you know, in 5 Points, there's different ethnic backgrounds. You have like the Asians, you have the Italians, you have the so on and so forth. So the protagonist, I guess you would call him, or the main character, he unified all the different ethnic groups and all their illicit activities under one banner. And he took those political connections and went off and did something else. So while he's running the crime family on this hand, he's running for public office on the other hand. And so this is why they called him the King of 5 Points, because he was the first one in 100 years to be able to unite all those different ethnic groups in that section of New York.
Wow. Okay, well, it sounds like a really good read.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I try to talk in circles so not to give the plot away.
No, of course. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Make it like a little teaser, not like give everything away. So when is the book fair and how can we get our hands on a copy?
The book fair, I will be in Miami on the 20th. What is that? November 20th at the Wilson campus of Miami-Dade. So I'll be there. Signing copies of The Reluctant King, hanging out, stuff like that. Just really appreciating the weather and ambiance because Miami always shows me love. So you can come through and you can copies there. You can go into any Barnes & Noble or Walmart and purchase the book and bring it to the fair, and I'll sign it for you. Or anywhere, pretty much anywhere books are sold, whether it's Amazon, like wherever books are sold. So you can grab a copy and bring it through, and I got you.
And again, to our viewers, so visit the MiamiBookFair.com for more info and details about Quan in-person conversation with Miami's own Calvin Early. So are you familiar with Calvin Early? Do you know who that is? Or he's going to be
are you asking me?
with the book?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Oh, no, we spoke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, we spoke and we had a good little conversation. So I think it's going to be dope because he called and that's one thing he like. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't reach out beforehand.
Okay.
Say, all right, well, what do you want to do and how's this going to go? Is there anything that's off limits? Some people just like, it's just another job, but he's vested.
Okay, awesome.
He understands the assignment. And so that's what I'm really looking forward to.
And again, it's November 20th at 3 p.m. And again, so visit the MiamiBookFair.com. And Quan, thank you so much. Congratulations. And we'll see you on November 20th.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Thank you. And now on to our next two featured guests. And again, BIG, which means Blacks in Gaming. The award show is coming up. And I'll be speaking to two gamers in the industry. So the first one is HipHopGamer. He is with Hot 97. He's an avid gamer and he's being recognized for his contribution within the gaming industry. And also Eli Harris, he's an actor and voiceover as well. And I'm so super excited. I'm so happy to see your faces as a part of the gaming industry. And I'm going to tell you, talk about like a bias I have, and I need you to educate me and our viewers as well. So before we get into that, how did you get into the gaming industry to begin with?
All right, so you want me to take that first, son?
Yeah, go ahead first, man. Go ahead,
I bet. All right, so real talk, it was my grandmom's, you know what I'm saying? So rest in peace to my grandmother. She taught me how to play video games when I was 4 years old. So I've been playing video games all my life. And she also utilized video games not only as a tool to keep me off the streets and stuff like that, because, I'm from East New York, Brooklyn. What happened is she taught me about life through video games. So in games, you got different objectives, levels, challenges, and you got to beat the boss. You know what I'm saying? Life is going to come at you that same way. So she utilized gaming to help me have a passion, not just for gaming, but a passion for life. So that was my foundation on how I got started, in gaming. And then fast forward from an industry standpoint, I got discovered. I was watching G4 Tech TV. Like that's what we was, watched. That's what we came up on, you know what I'm saying? And it started to feel like the corporations was taking over the voices that was delivering our game news, and it didn't feel real no more. So I'm the kind of person where I ain't gonna complain, I'm gonna create. So I decided to create. And because I created, there's a gentleman by the name of Torrance Davis who discovered me and got me an opportunity to go to E3, which is the Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying, of the gaming industry. So when I went to E3, not only did I break down a lot of barriers, just being a gamer that's there, that's black, from the hood, talking the way I talk, the knowledge that I had, and I'm interviewing like people like Hideo Kojima, who created Metal Gear Solid, and Microsoft executives that's doing Xbox Live. It was groundbreaking. So when we did that, that was my entry into the industry professionally as a journalist. And then over the years, I managed to do partnerships with, Hot 97, Logitech G, Furia Esports now, Qualcomm, AMD, like all these other companies now. And it helped lay out a foundation where not only can I have my own business and do things the way I want to do them independently, but I can also create something that a lot of people can be influenced by, so they don't have to have a fear of not wanting to get involved in gaming. They can embrace it and create a career for themselves.
Wow. Breaking barriers. Okay. And Eli, what about your background?
Similar to my man. My parents got me into it as a form of channeling my energy because I had ADHD. Now crazy thing is I was listening to that young lady talk earlier. I got started with a Color Computer 3, the Tandy. So that's back before the Atari, the TRS-80, back when they had the book this thick, like a phone book, and you had to basically type in everything. It was DOS. So that's how I got started with that. And of course, the Atari, the Nintendo. It was one of those things that helped me to channel my energy, kept me out of trouble. Even though I still got into some, it helped keep me out of trouble. So then fast forward into, where I'm at now, award-winning actor, work started drying up for me. And so I started using my voice. I started using my voice for the video games, for the animation, and all the other projects that I do. And to be able to voice games is something that's like a dream come true for me. It's a whole totally different outlet of energy for me, as opposed to the on-camera actor. So that's something I always wanted to do.
Yeah, and you're in that field. So let me ask you really quick. So given your background and given that you are in the gaming industry, so are there a lot of us in that industry? And if not, is there like a shock factor when people learn about your roles and your contribution in the gaming industry? Are they like, oh my God, really? You're in the gaming industry, but you're Black?
Yeah. So
you gonna take the first shot at that?
No, you take the first shot because I took the first shot the last time. So you take the first shot. I jump in after, son.
so the numbers. Hey, that's my man right there. The number is staggering, and I learned yesterday from Trinidad Hamida, who formerly of Niantic. It's only 2% of us in the industry, but we make up a big portion of the gaming industry as gamers. I listened to you talk about Street Fighter earlier. I used to do that competitively. That's my game. We our people never really get the shine that we should get when it comes to the gaming. So the numbers are not that big for those behind the scene.
Right.
But a lot of us make up the consumers for video games.
And bro, just to add to that, yo, Nicky, so I'm gonna just tell you straight up, and you can look at all the data, you look it up and stuff like that. So Black people are the number one people that play games and buy games in period. We're the number one invested group in gaming, period, in terms of actually spending the money, period. Yes, so how is it that you at the highest of the investment and spending time playing it, but the least represented? So it's designed that way. So one of the things that I'm thankful for is when I got into the industry, I got to see the industry. And in my situation, I never had a job in the industry. Everything I always did was partnership driven. So I never had to conform. I was always able to do me and be me because I lead with love. I put God first in everything I do. So when my steps are ordered, is correct. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing is in the gaming industry, the reason why you don't see much of us there on the forefront, and another thing from growing up in the hood too, if you was playing games that was like, if you playing Madden and NBA Live back in the day, then you cool, everything is good. But if you playing Mario, if you playing if you playing Final Fantasy, you know what I'm saying, and like Chrono Trigger and all this other stuff, they look at you like, yo,
you're a nerd.
You're a nerd. Right. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mega
a lot of people,
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot of people growing up try to hide what they love in front of people that don't even care about them. Like it's that same issue. So when I came on the scene doing what I did, it was like, oh, it's cool. And then now you see me on Hot 97. Now you see me as a character in the games that you love to play. Now you see me making music because I am an artist. Like, for example, me and DNA, the battle rapper on Smack, you know what I'm saying? We did a theme song for Watch Dogs 2. So now they seeing all this other stuff, and you seeing all the money, and you seeing all this, and now everybody, put me on, son. You know what I mean?
And not just with that, but also then you see people like myself. That's the voice behind that right there. That's that voice. When you look at that character, that's that voice. Yep. I play a redneck in a racing kart game called Chaos Kart that's coming out. Wow. I play a redneck in there. And to have a brother playing a redneck, that's dope.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I took that challenge.
And so that's why these interviews and just constantly talking about it and showing it is is important. You just got to be careful to make sure that the representation isn't, you're not being hustled through the representation for the benefit of a check, like, you know what I'm saying, like checklist, and it's being done in a way where it actually means something to create more people to get more involved, because there's so much talent out there. So that's pretty much where we at. That's why we see things the way we see it, Nikki. It's starting to be getting better. Don't get me wrong, it's getting better. We're seeing more of us, but it's not where it need to be yet.
There's a lot of work that needs to be
that
done.
was my next question, because like I'm not trying to. Oh, Eli, go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I was gonna say no. It's just a lot of work to be done, and when you have people like, you know, look at Black and Gaming. I gotta shout out Black and Gaming because they're the one that gave hip hop and myself the opportunity to even do these interviews. We got to give Black and Gaming that love because they got that platform to where our voices can shine. Because now people like hip hop, like myself, kids look up to us. They look at the things that we do and say, I can do that. That man came from the streets. He on Hot 97, the hottest station in New York. He on that. I came from a small town in Virginia.
So okay, I'm not trying to ask your age or nothing like that.
I'm 38.
Given when you first started. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'm
so
38. Yo, ain't no shame in my game. I look good. Let's go, baby. We outside with it.
We age well, baby.
Let's get it.
You know, black don't crack. You know what I'm saying? You know that girl be popping regardless. If you're 60, we popping. So let me ask you this. So when you first started in the gaming industry, up until now, do you feel the representation as far as Blacks and people of color have increased since you first started, or is it flat? Do we still need progress in the industry as far as executives, developers, creators? Like, how has that been for people of color and Blacks within the gaming industry, within corporate, like internally? How is that
increasing? I'll say it's increasing somewhat. For instance, one of the executives of Big is Laura Tekla-Merriam, who comes from that side of the business, who's now involved with Netflix, who, you know, handles things on the Netflix side. Laura is getting things done for our people. We got people like Trinidad Hamida, who came from Niantic. She's getting things done for our people. We got brothers like Arthur Milano. We got brothers like Carl Venado. You know, we got Travis, who's been in the industry for decades.
Talk about it.
Yeah, coming from Ubisoft and all these other places. So it's getting better. It's definitely getting better, but there's more work that needs to be done. And that's why you got people like my man up here who's getting into those doors to help bring other people in.
Absolutely, always. So just like what Eli said, it's definitely getting better, not just internally, but also externally. Like, it's getting better all around. The only thing that I focus on is making sure everything is getting better in a genuine way, in an authentic way. And I don't want people to fall into the crabs in a barrel mindset all over again. This is an opportunity to really break a barrier for everybody to be involved, because there's enough for everybody to eat and shine. And I'm the kind of person where I know, I got celebrity status. I'm a star in some areas. Great. But I also love being a fan too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's gonna have their time to shine, but also know that you got to be a fan and cheer other people on too. And that's the part where a lot of times you could get hustled, because with the right amount of money and the right check, and then the ego start getting in there, the very thing that we working to build can actually be cannibalized really quickly, you know, with the wrong temptation in front of you. So that's why I always try to be, that's why I said I always put God first, because no matter what I do, I'm always going to be protected, and me helping you doesn't outshine me. Me helping you helps us. So let's go.
And that's why you have to have gatekeepers, so to speak, that filter out those that are in here for the wrong thing, that will pull everybody else down. So you have to have people that are genuine and authentic, that are looking out for you.
Yep. And I'm telling you right now, that's not just a formality. Like I done help people like get on and do things. People that don't even know it was me helping them, but I made it happen. Yeah.
That's great, because like from the outside looking in, I don't see y'all behind the scenes. Like, we don't see who's behind the scenes. You're like our voices. You being in that space, you're our voices, but we don't see that. And I just want to say that, you know, growing up, even up until now, I was really biased. I thought the gaming industry was dominated by Asians, mainly the Japanese market. Like, I felt like behind the scenes there were mainly like just Japanese or white people. Like, I didn't really see a lot of Black people behind the scenes, and you're the voice. Like, this is my first time even hearing about this. I'm being totally honest, and I'm not the first one. I'm not. And I'm saying that because you know, so with the video games, I think there's a crossover with the gaming world and anime in a sense, or like any kind of cosplay.
Oh, yeah.
There's some kind of relationships.
Cosplay, comics, all of that. Tell them, Eli.
Yo, we've been into that stuff. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, if you were into something like that, you were straight up considered a geek. I remember in the mid-90s, it would be me and a couple of my peoples that we hung with. We would rent out a hotel room, right? 2 rooms, open the doors up, and we did a Comic-Con before there was a Comic-Con, where we would have tables set up with TVs. We were streaming manga like, Ranma, Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D, like old Wicked City, 8-Man After, all that old school stuff. And we would come dressed totally geeked out. But you couldn't really say anything like that because you were looked at as a geek. Now it's dope to do that. Now it's dope to do that.
Yep.
Aren't they called I'll give you. They're called dweebs, right? Dweebs,
herbs, stands,
all types of stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what's so crazy is I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you an analogy because like I'm HipHopGamer, so I utilize gaming and hip hop to create analogies that everybody can relate to. So Joe Buttons, right? He before all the podcasts and stuff like that, he's an artist. Now back then, if you was the radio guy or whatever, it's like you considered beneath. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the artist is the artist. Now, look, every artist and a mama is like looking for a Spotify deal and podcasting and everything like that. So this is what I mean by who's really about it and who's really an opportunist that's just trying to not get left behind with the changes of the market. And this is what I'm trying to tell people. The market is always right. But if you're good enough, you could change the narrative of the market so the market could see new value to create new narratives. And the new narrative now is that we've been here, now you see us, get ready to see more. Period.
I want to point on something that you spoke on earlier, Nikki. One thing that people don't know about, big last year, Gerard Lawson. A lot of people don't know who Gerard Lawson is. Gerard Lawson was the engineer who was known for creating the cartridge.
Yep.
No one ever heard of his name, but this was a brother who was an engineer who put the cartridge together that we see today, that
led the team
and that everybody uses, and never got any love or credit for it.
Yep.
Last year, Big put the spotlight on him, and so now the awards are called the Jerry Lawson Awards. The Gerald Lawson Awards.
And I want to add to that, my boy Anthony Frazier, shout out to AB Frazier. He did, he spoke with Jerry Lawson's son, and he did a whole podcast based around his life, exposing how foul things was. So one of the reasons why you never heard about Jerry Lawson, because they didn't want people to know that a black person was the person responsible. If it wasn't for him, we're not getting Nintendo. If it wasn't for him, you're not getting Sega Genesis. If it wasn't for him leading the team, we don't get none of that. Which in those things is what led to PlayStation. Everything that led to what we experiencing now from a stand. Because remember, with the arcades, we would go to the arcade and play games because we didn't have home consoles yet. And so they had to figure out a way to make the business model successful for home consoles so we could grow the industry. Jerry Lawson and his team single-handedly created the medium that will allow us to have the industry that we have today. And he's a black man. You understand what I'm saying? So, and don't get it twisted. I'm never the type of person to be like, oh, it's black versus white. It's black versus white. It's truth. It's truth. And the truth is right. And it needs to be seen and shown and marketed and done in the correct way. And it needs to be done in a genuine way. So when the audience see it, they see it in a real way instead of a fabricated way for somebody else to take profit from it. Let's go, baby.
And and look at it like this too. There's a reason why Thomas Edison gets credit and Lewis Latimer doesn't. When Lewis Latimer was the one who invented 2/3 of the light bulb. You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason, and we know what that reason is. So what we gotta do is, as a people, is bring it together, unify, stick together, work together, and make it happen together. Instead of saying I got mine, so I'm gonna make you slave and work to get yours. There ain't nothing wrong with putting in some work. As long as you helping somebody and they putting in work, that's fine. But just because you got yours, you can't help somebody get theirs, especially if you see they putting in that work.
Absolutely, because we all need help. We can't do it by ourselves. We all need help.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we all need help. Yeah. And I do want to highlight something as well. I do want to say, growing up, I was into video games and I didn't see a lot of us. As far as the characters in the games, I did not see a lot of us. But fast forward, And because of you and what you're doing to kind of bridge that gap, I am seeing so much more people of color and Blacks, you know, in particular in these gaming type roles, like Overwatch, Fortnite, like, you know. So my daughter and my son, they play video games, and every time there's like a Black character, I'm like, Mommy, look, there's a Black character. Come check her out. Come check him out. I'm like, what? So it's like, you know, so I love seeing that the representation as far as Black people is being more represented in these games, and kids are actually, they're enjoying it. You know, they don't, you know, it's just seeing more, and it's showing our kids and our teens and even adults that, yeah, we can play video games. You know what I'm saying? We could be a part of the character. We could be a part of the plot. So that is one change that I've seen that's changed over the years.
You know, that's because we're starting to have more people in those positions. Look, we got a strong queen by the name of Sarah Bond.
Shout out to Sarah Bond in the building.
Sarah Bond runs stuff for Microsoft, and she makes things happen. You know, so she's also part of Big. So what I'm saying is the Black and gaming community is large, and everyone in there has that voice that is doing things to help our people in the industry and putting the light on it. So it is getting better, but like my man Hip Hop said, we got work to do. We got work to do, man.
We got, and thank you so much. We don't see y'all. We don't see y'all behind the scenes. Thank you. Okay, so the Big Award show is coming up. So Big means Blacks in gaming, right?
Yep.
And you're both being recognized. Congratulations. So tell us about your recognition and you guys being honored for the Big Awards. And when is it actually? And how can we stream it?
Got you. So I know it's November 13th, and it's gonna be on Twitch. It's supposed to be on the front page of Twitch, if I'm not mistaken. Eli, you can correct me, but I think it's gonna be on the front page of Twitch.
It's streaming on YouTube too.
Yeah, YouTube too. So you'll be able to watch it and stuff like that. And what's so funny is when I film my award, like I don't have the award in my hand yet. They gotta send it to me. But when I had to do the acceptance speech and stuff like that, shout out to Floyd Mayweather and the money team and stuff like that. We was at the Ohika Castle, and I was, you know, talking about the award. And obviously I think my grandma, you know, family and friends and stuff like that. But when it comes to Blacks in gaming, like for real, for doing this and honoring me for the media award, I really, really humbly thank you. Like seriously, thank you for this. And I'm gonna tell you why. A lot of times for so long, people felt like that would never happen, like it was impossible. So what you think that says to a kid, or that says to anybody else when they see that, Dad, we never get anything? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it means a lot for me to get something to show that other people can get stuff and let's go in the positions that we're in. So Blacks in Gaming is very, very important. This is the 5th annual one. So we got to keep that pushing. That's one. And the second thing that I'll say, and I'll let Eli take it, is I remember a time where certain outlets, you know what I'm saying? And I'll give you an example, because I'm a name names type of person, you know what I'm saying? So like when you look at you know, n4g.com, or if you look at neogaf.com, like there was a time where they would have certain people specifically in position to be like, if you support him, then I'm gonna take something from you. So it was bully culture. So one of the reasons why you didn't see a lot of stuff. Remember, I came in the industry professionally in 2008. We're in 2021 now. So my thing is, there's so much that has been done, so much that has happened. Come on, I done had Tyler Perry on my show, Kevin Hart on my show, Morgan Freeman on my show. Like I do this for real at a highest level. And a lot of people would be like, well, why is it that HipHopGamer's doing this, but then this person, where's what's going on here? Something wasn't right. And I just want to tell y'all, what Blacks in Gaming is doing is really, really making a big impact and changing things, because I remember a time where the bully culture within the industry was we're good enough to be around, but not good enough to be represented. And that was a culture that was very nasty behind the scenes. Like I told you earlier, when I got into the industry, I was able to see the industry. So what I did was I see the good, I see the bad, I consume what's great, build the right relationships, and now I'm here today. So I thank you for this award. because I'm still going to continue to push the narrative. And now more people could see this and want to be a part of this as well. So you can see more of us, like Nikki was asking.
Yes, yes, yes. Eli.
Yes. So winning the big award, I'm winning for the performance award. And, you know, I never thought that I would get an award, you know, this soon being involved with Big. And obviously they saw my skill set and talent, and I had no idea. Like, I got an email and it's like, you know, we need your acceptance speech. I'm like, acceptance speech? You know, and it's like, I had no idea that I was up for an award, that I was nominated for an award. So I'm like, I hit up my man, Arthur Milano, who's involved with Big, and like, yo, what's this about? He's like, oh yeah, congratulations. You know, yeah, I'm like, yo, that's what's up. So that is like a milestone for me, because I got into the voice acting game to do video games and animation. You know, I do a lot of stuff, MMA, you know, UFC, LFA. You know, I'm the voice of Manscaped. I just got through doing stuff for Chris Paul for his new series, The Front Office. Woo! You know, so I do all that stuff, but to get recognized for my video game work is dope. You know, and so now for me, this is something that my kids get to see. You know, anytime that they see a trailer that has my voice in it for a game, Dad, that's you. That's the type of legacy I want to be able to leave behind. And I know that if there are other kids who are seeing the games that I'm in, they're going to feel that too. Like, he looks like me, just like what Gerard said. I mean, just like my man Hip Hop said, he looks like me. I can do this too. And I get so many people that reach out to me. How can I get involved with voiceover? And for me, it's humbling, because I'm able to sit here and tell them, you got to take it serious. You got to get coaching. You know, I get to explain the things to them without the shortcuts, to let them know, if you're looking to be in this for the long haul, you got to put in the work and invest in it. And it's going to take some financial investment.
Absolutely.
So for Big to open the door for something like this is incredible for me. And just the organization themselves and what they do. You know, the hands that they extend out to help people, the doors that they open for people, the diversity and inclusion that they have. You know, they have white people involved as well. That is a part of this, you know. And to be truthful, and I didn't get to say this earlier, the industry has changed in a sense where I'm part of a lot of different voiceover groups. And there are white people that I speak with in these groups, and they will post the fact, hey, I got an audition for this, for you know, a person of color. I don't feel comfortable doing it. I don't want to do that. So they'll pass it off to somebody else. So there are some allies in this industry for us too, that is saying, hey, let Black people, let people of color voice their content, because we took it long enough from them.
And, you know? And I'm so sorry. I just want to add to that, because you're so right, bro. Like, for example, shout out to my man Patrick Perkins. He used to be with Microsoft. Now he's with Qualcomm, leading the gaming division there. And I just, not to put everything out, you know, publicly, but what I can say is this guy has given me such an amazing opportunity to do so many things that I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, he didn't have to do at all. You know what I'm saying? And he went out of his way to do that. People like Michael Pachter, Scott Fry, there's so many to name, but really was like, yo, come here. You're a breath of fresh air. We need you in this industry. I'm gonna connect you with this just boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, it kind of bring you to tears a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, humbling. It's very humbling when it's, especially when you look at where you came from and all you trying to do is just do what you love. And then you you meet some people along the way that really, really care that you get to your destination. And shout out to Anthony McCrary as well, because he's on the Blacks in Gaming team, and he reached out to me and helped me out as well. So this is amazing.
You know, and that's how I got. Like, I had an exec from Disney reach out to me, and Disney, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's huge, bro.
Wanting to do stuff for Disney. We heard your stuff. I want to give you an opportunity. I got some things lined up for you. Same thing with Manscaped. Same thing with the Chris Paul project. The owner of the network reached out to me for that and said, we love what we hear from you, because we've been listening to your MMA stuff. That's how I got the Chris Paul project. So these doors are opening. And again, Big is doing so much for our community that it's overwhelming.
Yes.
So like when I gave my acceptance speech, I was trying my best to not cry. You might have cried. I don't know, man.
Oh.
You know,
You know what I'm saying? I had to hold it in. I don't think I had to hold it in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When the camera went off, I had a few. You know what I'm saying? Like,
man, yo, I had a box of Kleenex,
man.
Look, tissue right here, man.
We don't came a long way. We came a long way. So it's okay to cry.
I think about my grandma. Yeah, I think about my grandma and my son, and I'm like, yo, man, this is insane. Look at what we doing, where we at. So it's humbling.
You sharing a legacy with your son, dog. Like you honoring your grandma and sharing a legacy. You know, and that's what I'm trying to do. Share a legacy. And Black in Gaming is open the doors for people to start their own legacy.
Yeah. Oh no, Eli. Oh, there you go. All right, cool. You got froze up for a second.
Okay. So I'm saying, so Black in Gaming is open the doors so that everyone that gets involved can create their own legacy. I gotta give love to Black in Gaming for that.
Right.
Gotta give them love for that.
Yeah, there's a space for us as well in this industry. There is a space for us. And again, you know, just the youth, it's so great that they're able to look up to you, to y'all and what you're doing, because they're going to say, you know what, I can do that too. There's a space for me. I can do that too. I could be a part of that world too. I could be in that industry, not just playing video games, but I could be a part of the change behind the scenes. And that's so important. Representation is so important. And, you know, again, I'm just saying, like, so again, I'm not behind the scenes, you are, but you know, I'm into the whole anime world, the whole video game world. And when I see those Black characters, I do cartwheels. Because the thing is, back in the days, you know, with the Maddens and everything, with sports, with NFL, with NBA, you saw like a lot of Black leads. But as far as action adventure type or even fighting games, you didn't see a lot of us in those kind of scenarios, you know? So I see, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. But now it's
my bad.
Wait, hip hop, is that you? Hip hop, that's you?
Yeah, that's my character in NBA 2K Playgirls. Yeah.
Trifecta. Fires the jump shot.
Get that out of here, son.
Maybe you should hit reset.
Well, okay, let me ask you this: are y'all on Discord and Twitch and everything?
Of course.
I have Discord. Yeah, I'm rarely on there, but I got one.
What happened, Eli? What happened?
I got Discord. I'm rarely on it. You know, I still can't quite figure it out.
Bro, so you gotta get on. Are you kidding me? You gotta get on Discord heavy, son. What? Especially with what you do.
Yeah, look, I know, man. I know, but look, I'm connected with you, so you'll get my game up on there.
All right, okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Get my game up on there.
There you go. Okay, so what is okay, Eli. So you're the voice of this.
More like so this is the character Shagrum on Skyrim, Elder Scrolls.
I'm the kind of orc that likes to kill those who ask too many questions.
Woo.
We need a sword to open that gate. Weakness. I could rip that gate open with my bare hands. I thought you were kicked out of that ballet school. It's over already? Hey, wake up so I can kill you again. I need a real challenge. This was nothing. I need more enemies to kill. I haven't killed anything with my boots yet. I'm working the mines here, so I haven't had time to take care of personal problems. Go to Skyrim, to Marcus, and find Ulfgar. He'll be staying at the Silver Blood Inn. Once you find him, kill him. He owes me gold, and I've lost my patience. Give him a good, swift death. If anyone catches you, kill them too. Kill everyone if you have to.
Oh my gosh, I would not have thought that was a Black man doing the voiceover.
Yo, let's go. Yo, son, now, because you understand, like, I play the game, you know what I'm saying? Skyrim, that's a legendary game, son. Yeah. What?
Wow.
Yo.
That is awesome. That's awesome. Well, you know what? So what would you tell your younger self, and how old would you be? And Eli, we'll start with you.
I would tell myself to stay focused because my mind was everywhere. You know, I got involved with stupid stuff as a kid, got in trouble as a kid. The talent was always there. You know, my parents, you know, God rest their souls, my adopted parents, they did all they could for me. And, you know, I got involved in stupid stuff. You know, they're the ones who got me involved in theater and stuff like that. But, you know, the discipline just wasn't there. And so what I would tell myself if I could go back is stay focused. Stay focused. Stick with what your parents got you involved in. Ignore the white noise and everything else out there and stay focused. You know, that's what I would tell myself.
I love that. What I would say two things. I always say this, like, now as as a man, but character is your currency.
I like that.
I say that because so many of us, we don't look at ourselves as valuable because our value is based on what society says is valuable. And if you don't got this car and you don't got this money and you don't got this, then you ain't nothing and you don't have anything. And you see it programmed all the time. That's why people kill just to have Jordans and things like that, so they could feel like there's something based on what they have on and what they have. So character is your currency is the first thing I would tell my younger self, so you can value who you are because of who you are. God made you. You are who you are, and that's valuable, period. That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is lead with love in all you do, meaning that if you genuinely don't have a love, whether it's for yourself, for someone else, or for what your project is that you're working on, you need to reevaluate why and what are you doing this for. So I would say those two things: character is your currency, and lead with love.
And part of that comes with education. Part of that comes with understanding and knowing who you are. And I'll just be brief with this. I was listening to an interview from Wood Harris. I love that actor.
Love Wood Harris.
He was talking. So there was a question I was asked to him in regards to British actors and American actors. And so he brought up, the whole thing with Idris Elba and him because they did The Wire together. Right. He said the thing about British actors like Idris Elba is that they carry themselves with pride being Black, because over there in school at an early age, they're taught about their contributions as Black people in that society. So they carry themselves with a certain level of dignity and respect. Whereas here, we only learn about us picking cotton. We learn about us, they used to make fun of my name, Eli, and the cotton gin, because he invented the cotton gin. We don't learn anything about Benjamin Banneker. We don't learn anything about Nora Granwood. We don't learn about the people who actually help create things in this country and build things. So the things that we gravitate towards are those things that our people unfortunately sell themselves out to, putting out the negative image. So you can get money shaking your ass. You can get money talking about, I'll pop one in you if you look at me wrong. We can get paid for that, but we can't get paid to talk intelligently. We can't. That's why you had a lot of underground rap artists who never made a commercial, because they spit a lot of truth. And so if we are able to educate ourselves as a people and have a self-worth and know who we really are and where we come from, then I think that we can do those things that my brother up here is talking about.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And it starts at a young age.
Who we are as a people.
Yeah. We have to mold the mind at a very young age. It starts at a young age, that molding, that's where it starts from. So and
that's
I have one more question. What's okay? So last question. What is your all-time favorite game?
Ninja Gaiden.
God of War.
Yeah.
I love Ninja Gaiden too. But I'm gonna tell you the reason why God of War is my favorite franchise of all time. And shout out to David Jaffe because he created Kratos. The story is scary real in terms of me as a Black person relates to it. So I'll give you an example of what I mean. So Kratos, his natural skin and everything, right? He's fighting in a war and he was about to die, him and his people. So he asked Ares, the god of war, I'll give you my soul if you wipe away all these enemies for me. So Ares wiped away all the enemies, right? But he also made Kratos kill his wife and daughter. And he had to wear his wife and daughter's ashes as his skin. So he was trapped in a 24/7 nightmare because every time he wakes up, he's reminded of his wife and daughter that he killed because his actual skin is based off the death of his that he took their life. And when he goes to sleep, his nightmares is about constantly repeating him killing his wife and his daughter because he sold his soul to the god of war Ares. They'll think about that metaphor.
See,
You sell, you know what I'm saying? You sell your soul to something thinking it's gonna help you, and it winds up destroying you, and you lose yourself in the process, and you wind up hating yourself and going through all this pain, and your skin is a representation of it. Think about that.
See, you like the
It's a
game,
permanent
so
mark.
you have a real profound reason for your games, dog. I just like Ninja Gaiden because I like to hack and slash. Like, every now and then, let me be real. Every now and then, you want to get into some mindless action where you
Yeah, of course,
escape reality.
Let's have a little fun.
Ninja Gaiden on the NES, first it was in the arcade. Ninja Gaiden on the NES was the very first game to ever have a cinematic story to it.
Ooh, yeah,
because if you remember during the cutscenes, it was widescreen before there was a widescreen.
Yeah,
and it told a story. That's the reason why I love that game, because it was deep in story, and I'm a martial artist. So I mean, you know, you talking about the 80s, that's a whole ninja era. You know,
and that game was hard. The Gaiden was hard. What on 8? Man, listen. So that was yo. We can talk about this all day, but yeah, like
know,
yo,
right?
Nick, we do this, Nick. Word up.
Well, okay, so HipHopGamer and Eli, thank you so much. Again, everyone, so Big Black in Gaming, the awards show is November 13th, this Saturday, and it's streaming on StreamYard, and I believe also YouTube as well. Yeah. So visit at HipHopGamer for more info, and also BIG, Blacks in Gamers on Instagram as well, or in gaming on Instagram as well. So thank you so much again. Congratulations. I'm so happy. You are definitely just trailblazers and pioneers for our community, for our Black youth. And it's much appreciated because we don't see who's behind the scenes. We don't see it. So thank you so much for being the faces and the voices for us and the youth, and for just opening that space, breaking barriers, and letting us know, yes, we too can be in that space. So thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Nikki.
I want to play you in Street Fighter if you still got it. And Mortal Kombat 2.
You see Chummy thighs?
I smoke all of y'all. None of y'all wanted with me. None of y'all wanted with me. None of y'all.
Look,
you gotta go look at my stream. I got a stream called HipHopGamer versus everybody. So yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, then we'll
it's
get
on.
it in.
We'll get it in.
Let's go. I'm reach out to you after this. We're gonna set it up. All right.
Let's get it. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, take care. Congratulations. And everyone, so we have a few shows lined up throughout the week. So MIA Media Group presents to you every Mondays, The Business of Black Business at 1 p.m. with Jay Reynolds. Every Tuesday is My Money, Your Money at 7 p.m. with Bridget Lumpkins. On Wednesdays, it is So with me, your girl, Nikki Says YOLO. And tomorrow, Thursday, is Lunch with Legacy Leaders at 12 noon with Anne-Marie Serral. And also Flavor of South Florida at 7 p.m. with Chef Irie. So thank you so much. And we'll see you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Have a good night.